people object to giving health care, universal health care, to the 40+ million people in this country that don't have health care. And what they fail to understand is that these people are getting health care. These people don't roll over in a ditch and die. If they have a banged up knee, they go to the emergency room. Well, the emergency room costs us $1,000. If they had health care, they could go to a doctor for $40 or $50. Health care must change. And the public does not understand that government involvement is the only way. The insurance industry is pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into fighting this issue with lobbying. And the reason they're fighting it is because their profits will diminish from 25 to 30% down to maybe 5 or 6%. I'm certainly not a socialist. I'm an entrepreneur. I believe in free markets. But I don't believe that when you're a healthcare provider or you're a pharmaceutical manufacturer, even better, and you have the only drug that will help someone prevent them from dying, or it's some heart medication, I believe then there has to be some humanity in your pricing. We've been here in this pharmacy since June of 1946. I was here when we started remodeling the store, and I remember specifically helping my dad being on a ladder. I was 8 years old at the time. When we got here and took over the lease on this store, it was a fancy women's boutique. Above the drugstore was a company called the Vogue Hat Company, where they made men's hats. There was a Dell Farm supermarket where the Walgreens is today. There was a sewing machine company. There was some kind of a sundry place. Down the street, heading towards Damon, in this block, was a store that sold live chickens and ducks and turkeys, and you came and you picked something out of a cage and they took it inside and slaughtered it for you. Wicker Park in the 1940s was basically working class, predominantly an immigrant community. I would say mostly Polish, but some Russian, some from other parts of Eastern Europe. You had to speak languages, and we always had people here who spoke at least 2, maybe 3 languages. The Latino immigration began probably in the late 60s, early 70s. We had photographers and artists living in the neighborhood, and the neighborhood began to change because the earlier immigrants, as they did better and better, had bought buildings, were moving farther northwest, and we had an immigration from the south at that time. And so from a higher working class kind of neighborhood, where people were striving to get ahead, we suffered a downturn at that time. And that lasted well into the 70s. The neighborhood today is much more upscale. It's pretty obvious from the types of homes and condos that are going into the area. What I miss from the old days is the excitement at Christmas time. We were the only store outside of downtown that carried all the finest lines of perfumes and colognes. And Marshall Fields used to send us customers. When they ran out of something, they would call here. And we used to have 10 people working around the holidays. I see the future of Wicker Park getting better and better. This neighborhood's been going up and up and up over the last 30 years.